Alright, here we go. This is a custom 1v1 on Duel between the blue player in the upper left-hand corner, BonGeBon, in the Steampunk Striker, and his opponent, the red player in the bottom right-hand corner, Omegasaxon, in the Gothic Warthog. And does set off the mines. Very, very standard. Both players will do it. Classic. Well, not really classic, but typical high tier, not necessarily high tier, but typical AirMech veteran. AirMech veteran habits, I was going to say. But now Omegasaxon actually stacking a bunch of zippers over here. And he will probably eventually go with a mass zipper T-push somewhere. I guess once stuff is clear enough, maybe once mid is over, I would say that pushing those zippers out at that time would be pretty OP. It does have one Liberty Bomb in queue, interestingly enough. BonGeBon going pretty standard here, going with light defense and Moneymakers down. Omegasaxon with a single Liberty Bomb in queue, and will use it for a little bit of... Oh, and he completely misses for the most part, that Moneymaker. But BonGeBon way over here on this side of the map, going for harass himself, will not be able to save that Moneymaker or this Jackal either, and but a little bit of miss micro. He did lose that shooter to those Goliath, and now Omegasaxon does come back here to respond to this. Those shooters go down very, very fast, and BonGeBon's harass is there was pretty much nothing that came out of that entire thing, and Omegasaxon trying to get that Moneymaker, but right next to BonGeBon where he was, so probably not too smart of a move to try to do that while BonGeBon was there. Maybe he wanted to move on to a different thing or drop the bomb on, I don't know, a unit or something, get it. I don't know. At that point, right next to BonGeBon, he could have just followed him out and guarded wherever he dropped that bomb, and Omegasaxon obviously just did get killed by that Goliath. It does allow BonGeBon a short amount of time to drop a couple of Jackals here, will probably eventually neutralize that outpost, and BonGeBon still has not seen this big stack of zippers. Omegasaxon using zippers for defense, but does chase BonGeBon away. Oh, but BonGeBon does not get completely chased away by Omegasaxon. He does get a zipper on the ground before he does have to completely retreat. One Blaster Guardian in his orbit right now, and does grab a couple creeps. Oh, he will be able to grab this outpost. So Omegasaxon never responded to that cheese. You can't really call it the cheese, but that Jackal drop. It did completely neutralize this outpost. Omegasaxon had zero defense in that area. Now moving out with zippers will almost definitely be able to neutralize this, especially with a Warthog in support. These zippers will get a fair surround on this. Oh no, actually most of them have been killed. Omegasaxon, is he coming with more units? No more unit support. So the mid fight will pretty much does not exist right now. BonGeBon has been able to grab Omegasaxon's forward without him actually responding at all to it, and has actually been able to clear a lot of the units over here just with shooters. Once again, another kind of sit and wait unit like artillery, because they do stop to fire. They don't just continue on. And Omegasaxon now bringing out a lockbox. Very, very interesting. Using it as a meat shield, as a decoy, so the zippers don't get as attacked. That's very, very strange. It will go down very, very fast. It's quite an expensive wall, actually. 5,000, I believe, is what the lockbox costs. So Omegasaxon does get himself killed and will not be able to get any ground here in this forward fight, and will allow BonGeBon to now again go with another attack. Does send some Jackals out to that last stand, and I will try to call it the back corner post or something like that. But yes, Omegasaxon with all these zippers. Oh man, he's gonna choose to send them out now. Yes, he is. BonGeBon will be able to neutralize this outpost and most likely be able to take it under his control. However, he only has shooters as infantry in his build queue, or in his loadout. So let's see where these zippers go. They are kind of splitting off. They probably, a couple of them will. Oh no, they will probably survive passing these goalies. Will get a fair surround on mid. BonGeBon won't have too much of a hard time defending against this, I think. Oh no, now Omegasaxon attacking mid. But BonGeBon has to deal with the zipper attack here at his forward, so Omegasaxon will be able to kill quite a lot of units here, neutralizes that mid, and the Warthog doing so much damage, almost getting a tank killed. BonGeBon forced to retreat his tanks back to where they came. Oh, but this outpost has been neutralized by those zippers as well. Omegasaxon now coming with Mortys and two zippers, interestingly enough, so those Mortys will walk in. They're grenade shooting infantry. They are brand new. And they do have, I think they have a pretty good amount of range, but they have grenades, so it's like AoE attack. I'm not exactly sure how to describe this at this point. You know, it is quite a new unit, but it's an AoE projectile that doesn't really have that great accuracy, so it kind of just bounces around next to where it was aiming to begin with. Omegasaxon actually creating a good surround here with these zippers. Well, not necessarily surround, but has a bunch of them here in front, so the wandering creeps will not be able to get there very easily at all. And now already sending out these zippers, so they will be able to surround BonGeBon's outposts. and now definitely has to deal with them. And let's see what Omegasaxon chooses to do in the meantime. Drops a single runner, probably not the best decision, but will put enough pressure on this outpost to get it neutralized and probably kill a significant amount of units over here. So Omegasaxon actually gaining quite a lot of ground in terms of the fight toward BonGeBon's outpost. However, he still does not have his forward under control. It is still well surrounded by blue units, although it has been neutralized for the moment. BonGeBon will probably be able to get this defense off. However, Omegasaxon doing quite a lot of damage, does get another Longhorn killed. Every single one of those Longhorns, so many credits that you do lose. It's 4,700, 800. I completely forgot. For some reason, it's just completely escaping me, but it is pretty significant. And Omegasaxon will be able to drop some more Mortys in this outpost and be able to get quite a good defense off if he can drop the rest of these Mortys maybe in these bunkers. No, instead he does decide to go with this outpost, and so they are firing at the outpost. It's kind of interesting, but BonGeBon dropping with his sword will be able to kill those Mortys pretty quickly. Omegasaxon with even more now, but BonGeBon once again with the sword will be able to defend against this with not too much difficulty. And let's see how Omegasaxon now does decide to go to his forward. While BonGeBon, now moving out with all the units that he had at his fort, completely undefended close still, and Omegasaxon with another lockbox out. He is using them as walls. Very, very interesting. I completely forgot what the armor type is. I'm pretty sure the lockbox is still medium. Omegasaxon almost does get finished off by BonGeBon in the air. So many Blaster Guardians, not so many, just one, but one Blaster Guardian, definitely enough to actually get that finish. And BonGeBon now will start his approach toward this mid. Most of Omegasaxon's units have been actually finished off, and the rest that he has over here are very, very weak. Just zippers, just the pretty much spammable units, zippers and those infantry. And now BonGeBon with a lot of tanks here will probably be able to get this mid secured as long as he does. However, he doesn't have too much AA. I would expect some more Seekers out of BonGeBon at this point, especially against a Warthog player with so much power in the mech itself. However, this zipper spam is very, very similar to the Rebel spam that we were used to seeing from Akros, and many other players as well have been using that Rebel spam. It has been quite a strong, I don't know if you really call it meta, but it pretty much is for the most part, because you know, you do it and you win. It's sort of exploiting, but not really. I don't really know what to call it, to be honest. BonGeBon still has control of this mid, although Omegasaxon has been able to drop a lot of those zippers. Oh, and Omegasaxon transforming away just in time to avoid BonGeBon's fire, so does survive that exchange right there. However, BonGeBon with a couple of honeypots out on the field defending his or supporting his units, and now Omegasaxon getting way pushed back. Oh, but Omegasaxon actually did have a Morty push over to this outpost, but they do go down to those Longhorn that are there. However, though, that Warthog just able to kill like crazy. BonGeBon really needs this outpost under his control so he can have that heal and maybe drop a couple more honeypots and drop obviously a couple more units to actually better surround this outpost and keep it from getting re-neutralized once again. And with not using Striker Sword. I kind of thought he was already for some reason, just because he was right next to all those infantry, but didn't use Striker Sword, just decided to kind of shoot toward Omegasaxon, and Omegasaxon actually really, really high on credits, just spamming zippers, but not quite fast enough to really keep up with the credit income that is in this new version of AirMech, to be honest. This is pretty much version 1 or 2 I don't know, somewhere between 2 and 1, I guess, 1.5, something like that. But I guess 2.0.1, this is the evolved version of version 2 rolls, and Omegasaxon actually getting quite a surround with his zippers, neutralizing it very quickly, and does get that outpost surrounded and under his control. Actually, now with even more zippers, going to use it to attack that back post, and BonGeBon trying to go for the goalies, but you know, there is so much over there, and now Omegasaxon with even more zippers, but BonGeBon responding to this already. Only a single zipper, so does decide to drop and shoot with his guns. Going for this forward now. There is a completely undefended side. Let's see if this actually gets neutralized. I would imagine Omegasaxon's coming with even more, but will be able to mass command these zippers. Probably going to set them on capture. I don't know how effective this will be, because he doesn't really have the numbers that he needs to really be able to effectively do that mass command, mass confusion send that is kind of typical of that playstyle. And BonGeBon actually really low on health, probably will be finished off here. Yes, does get finished off before he can get back to that mid. So now with 4 zippers in his cargo, let's see if he can actually neutralize this outpost and maybe even take it under his control. Those zippers will probably do the job before BonGeBon gets back to his, back to the fight and respawns, but not coming with infantry, coming with even more zippers. Maybe those zippers will die and infantry will come out of them, but I don't know. Maybe BonGeBon will. Oh, now BonGeBon in deciding to just push all of his tanks. That's a lot of tanks. Omegasaxon with just more zippers. He's completely credit capped right now. It's happening more and more and more in this more modern, version of high-income AirMech. And now that close outpost was neutralized, but BonGeBon has enough units over there to defend properly, and Omegasaxon almost getting finished off, but does have this outpost neutralized, so BonGeBon might be able to get this finish on, but oh, that Gaddy actually able to finish off BonGeBon on the ground after he transforms off, and the Secret finishing off Omegasaxon. We have a 1v1 where both players are respawning, so let's take a look at the field. Just a single Gaddy over here will probably lose to these Longhorn, and this outpost has 3 infantry in these slots. Omegasaxon now coming back to the fight with 1 more Gaddy, and BonGeBon coming back with some Jackals. So the Jackal and Joker, I know that they've been role switched, but I think there's been even more stat changes. I will definitely not try to keep up as much as I could, honestly, because it's just going to be crazy confusing, and it's not really written down anywhere. I really just have to talk to people or play myself, and I'd rather be casting, honestly, for all of you guys. So let's see if BonGeBon can actually retake this outpost. He definitely does have enough tanks over here and has Jackals in his build queue, so let's... Oh, okay, so now going for his close, so that is pretty responsible. Going with a more safer play out. Omegasaxon now sending out the zippers again, sending out zippers. It's pretty much the exact same thing he's doing over and over and over again. So BonGeBon now sending out his tanks, so this will be a little bit harder for Omegasaxon to deal with. However, there's not really enough AA on the field for BonGeBon to really take advantage of this kind of push. Omegasaxon now going, oh, okay, I thought he was going to go for that close, but just going to once again get a surround with his zippers on this forward outpost. However, there is a line of tanks coming for his close. Let's see if BonGeBon decides to support that. Yes, does bring a Seeker to fight against that Warthog, and will probably, okay, no, just gonna, okay, now Striker sorting, so that is probably the right decision, especially with all those zippers sitting there, and these tanks not really neutralizing this outpost, though, and Omegasaxon finishing off BonGeBon in the air over there, dropping another lockbox as a wall. Really crazy stuff. We'll be able to finish off the rest of the push that was sent over here. But now BonGeBon respawning. Another lockbox for wall. Why, Omegasaxon? Why? I'm pretty sure a Longhorn would be better in this case, but just using a lockbox as a wall, maybe he is kind of under the impression they are just like vault boxes, have quite high HP and high armor, but that is definitely not the case. I'm pretty sure they still have medium armor and not too high HP. It's something... Not that I don't remember exactly what it is. I don't have my data sheet open in front of me, but it's I will bet all my money that the Longhorn is a better wall. And now Omegasaxon again going with the zipper attack. Let's see if BonGeBon actually sees him moving. No, he's just on his minimap now, but these zippers aren't really too much trouble because BonGeBon does have it defended enough. Now Omegasaxon has these zippers here. Being chased down by BonGeBon will be finished off on the way back. So does he actually defend against here? This, oh, okay, no, they got finished off by these, by the unit, it's, I don't know what to call that, honestly, socketed infantry. We're really gonna have to come up with a lot more terms now that the game is changing like crazy, people. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna call them socketed infantry, but now just more and more zippers, spam, zippers like crazy, and now BonGeBon with 3 Blaster Guardians orbiting around him. Will be able, okay, now going with a more slow and steady artillery approach. Not just going to go push. Omegasaxon with 1 bomb and 2 zippers. Not exactly a unit composition that I would, or the cargo composition that I would expect. But BonGeBon trying to drain that outpost energy, and actually has worked fairly well. Omegasaxon now sending the zippers once again. It's probably not going to work this time just because BonGeBon has such a good surround of Longhorn. Omegasaxon, was he bombing? Has he been bombing this entire time? He will be able to pick up, oh, not able to pick up another Longhorn, and those zippers are just going to be completely shut down by all the surrounding Longhorn that BonGeBon has over here, and doing quick scout on that close, doing taking a look at the forward. There are plenty of places to drop units, as Omegasaxon has lost pretty much the majority of his units over here. Just 2 zippers, which will be very, very ineffective at any kind of defense. And BonGeBon with 2 tanks, more and more even coming. He is pushing with some Jackals, and 1 more Longhorn will go down to neutral. Eventually, only 1 bulb up, or at least 1 infantry slot filled. God, that's much harder to say than bulb, guys. So we got to figure out a better term, or at least I do. Omegasaxon now rearing this tank, able to finish off a lot with that Warthog. Level 11 Warthog, really high DPS. I don't know if that Blaster Striker out DPSs that Warthog, but I'm pretty sure no. I'm almost certain no. Omegasaxon now with more zippers, gonna do the exact same. Oh god, okay, 2 zippers stacked, not really that effective. So BonGeBon will eventually be able to take this outpost under his control, get us around, unless Omegasaxon just continues to push with more and more zippers. BonGeBon just with more and more Jackals. He really would like to see that surround with Jackals or just some tanks. If he just decides to leapfrog some stuff up or just send tanks tank, he might be able to actually do this and without Omegasaxon able to retake it with just a zipper, a mass zipper T-push. Oh, is he using a Y push? Actually, no, they are splitting, so... Oh, what the... Okay, some of them are... I'm really confused. Okay, so, yeah, some of them were set on... actually, all of them were set on attack, so some are going here, some are going... Some are going here, some are going here. They did get this outpost surrounded, so BonGeBon definitely has lost that once again. But really, all BonGeBon really can do at this point, or all he really needs to do to win at this point, is just tank spam. At the rate that Omegasaxon is throwing away these zippers, he won't be able to stand up to a tank army, especially because he just keeps sending. He's not really doing a humongous mass send or anything like that. He's not like waiting for like, I don't know, like 30 or 40 zippers or something like that to be able to send, so he'll actually have quite a lot at BonGeBon's fort, which I might add is pretty much undefended. So BonGeBon, and if you take a look, yeah, again, attacking, neutralizing, yada yada yada, but if you take a look, Omegasaxon's fort is pretty much undefended as well, just one gaddy. BonGeBon might even just be able to push all of his tanks to that front door as long as he has enough secret support to keep Omegasaxon away from that tank column. He might even be able to just get a finish straight up right now. However, instead, BonGeBon is just losing tank after tank, just dropping them and letting Omegasaxon, not necessarily letting him, but, you know, Omegasaxon is able to actually pick up quite a lot of tanks. And Omegasaxon says, oh, there's no overtime. Yeah, this is version 2 rules now, or at least version 2.0.1 or whatever. However you want to call it. But there are quite a lot of Longhorns sitting over here for BonGeBon. I guarantee you Omegasaxon has been able to scout that already, and if he hasn't, that is a little crazy sad. But now BonGeBon sending all of his stuff. He does have enough Seekers to keep Omegasaxon away. Oh, but will he be finished off by that Gorgon? No, does get away far enough. I'm not really sure why he needs to sell that lockbox at this point, because this is pretty much going to be the game ender. And BonGeBon now queuing up even more Longhorn, going to re-surround mid with those Longhorn that he has in his build queue. But there are more and more tanks coming for this front door, and Omegasaxon's like, oh, never mind, this is GG. There's nothing that Omegasaxon has in his build queue. He hasn't really been building anything, honestly. Just zippers. Puts a gaddy. Oh, does die already. Trying to put the gaddy behind these Seekers, but does get finished off by the Seekers before he can even get there. BonGeBon will be able to grab this win, and that is it. Victory goes to blue. BonGeBon getting this custom 1v1 victory on Duel over Omegasaxon. Zipper, lockbox wall, zipper, lockbox wall again. Gaddy every once in a while. Not enough tanks for BonGeBon, honestly. Just weirdly just dropping 1 or 2 things at a time over and over again. Omegasaxon killing stuff so fast. This is version 2, guys. This is the future. Let's see if they can really evolve it such that it won't really be so spammy. But right now, yes, zippers OP. So guys, if you want to see any more, let me know. Let me know what you guys want to see. Any requests or anything like that. If you have any replays to actually share to me, though, check my video description. Obviously, send me replays. This is RUY, and that is game. See you next time.